Scotia and Saskatoon. So Saskatchewan is the home team in white.
All right, we're good.
Well, this started 5 minutes. So, so it is.
No, it's supposed to be a zero. I just need to make it
That's
S zero. You go. Do you know the website? No, oh wait.
Good afternoon and welcome to the second game of the day from beautiful King George V pitch in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. The teams are just getting ready now to start this latest game of the Challenge Trophy Toyota National Championships. We've had a gorgeous week of weather so far, another beautiful day today. Sunshine, 15 degrees, a little bit of a light breeze, and the teams really loving the conditions. Great for the fans as well that have been coming out. Today's game we'll bring you is Saskatchewan's Saskatoon Revolution versus United DFC Dartmouth of Nova Scotia. Saskatoon in the white, Nova Scotia in the yellow. I'm Colleen McConnell. I'll be joined by Gillian Landrigan on camera, and we're very pleased to welcome you here to the game. You're watching live on Sports Canada TV. Captains have just done the toss. Looks like Saskatoon is going to shoot first. And they will take the right-hand side of the field, my right. Halifax starting on the left-hand side of the field. It's 4:30 local time. This is the second game of Group 2 action that you'll see at the field here today. Earlier, we had Ontario with a 4-0 victory over Yellowknife of the Northern Territories. They're the territorial representatives at this tournament. Ontario is represented by Ottawa St. Anthony. Today's team, Saskatchewan Revolution, third place finishers last year when Saskatchewan hosted Challenge Trophy and Jubilee Trophy Nationals. the last time the tournament was held here in Newfoundland and Labrador in 2016. The team from Saskatchewan, a different team, finished 4th in that tournament. This team here that you're seeing today, 12 of those players were part of last year's bronze medal team. And the game is underway with Saskatoon trying to settle it down, start an early pace. Very controlled. The United FC coach was telling me that they've had a number of injuries in the lead up to the tournament. So you can see they've got a fairly short bench over there. Saskatchewan, for anyone just joining in the white, and Nova Scotia in the yellow and navy. Mihail Bandula in net for Saskatchewan. Matt Berrigan trying to send it ahead, but intercepted by Dartmouth United FC. Teams getting themselves settled. Jean-Marie Perrault passing across. Bobby Nicolat to David Brown. Brown to Mitchell Bosch. And there's a foul on the play. Saskatoon with a free kick in hunting range. And that'll be taken by Mitchell Bosch. And Jordian Farahani. Back to Farahani. Bosch trying to get through and put it across. Tipped out by the defense. And we'll have our first corner of the game. Mitchell Bosch to take that. Nova Scotia down to Oscar Marshall. Mesut Mert to Marshall. Mert fouled on the play. And it'll be a free kick for Nova Scotia. Taken by their goalie, Jensen Brown. No, it'll be taken by Mert. Played back to Jensen Brown, who was pressured by Bobby Nicolat. Jordan Halleck, Jordian Farahani. Looking to bring that forward. Jordan Halleck trying to move it up, and it's kicked out of play. It'll be a Saskatoon throw-in. Bandula to Perot. Bobby Nicolat. Perot. Nathan Reese bringing it to Tanner Stevens. Stevens now being his shirt getting tugged on by Derek Godet. Godet, one of the Nova Scotia players with some Team Canada experience. Had some call-ups with the men's national under-23 team back in 2010 and 2011. Also a B license coach, and an interesting thing about the Nova Scotia team, number of B license coaches there, so really great to see them giving back to the game. Luigi Bequayu. Sumit Malik to Matt Larter. Mesut Mert wearing the captain's armband for Nova Scotia. Bosch over to Halleck. Halleck back to Perot. Tanner Stevens not quite ready for it. Great save attempt, a sliding save on his own shot. Callum Thompson keeps it from the defense, but unable to get a clean shot away after the goalie was drawn out of position. Jensen Brown now puts it back out into play for Nova Scotia. Cameron Zinn. Looking for Andrew Series. Bandula puts it back out to the Saskatoon defense. Jordan Farahani bringing the ball forward. Trying for a long ball there, but intercepted by Zinn. Dartmouth now, number 16, Tanner Stevens of Saskatoon with an intercept, but unable to make much headway. Nathan Reese now trying to Cameron Zinn trying to find Oscar Marshall, but Marshall not able to get past the Saskatoon defense. Saskatoon now resetting. Moving the ball up the side. Over to Tanner Stevens, who's looking for David Brown in the middle. Brown over to Luigi Bequayu. Bequayu being held a little on the play there. Able to get away. Trying to get through, but it's defended by Dartmouth. Jordan Halleck comes up with it, but the ball goes off a Saskatoon player, and it will be a Nova Scotia throw in. Ball put into play, but headed out by Saskatoon. Nathan Reese making another attempt. Matt Larter making another attempt to Oscar Marshall. Cameron's in with the throw in to Mesut Mert. Crossing it over to number 11, Sumit Malik, who passes it on to Matt Berrigan. Back to Malik. Malik trying to find number 10, Derek Godet. And we've got a Saskatoon player down on the play, but he's seems to be tying his lace and taking his time getting up. We'll have a free kick coming to Saskatoon. 12 minutes elapsed into the first half of this game. If you're just joining us, you're watching live coverage of the Toyota National Championships Challenge Trophy Division B. This is the Saskatoon Revolution in white, playing United FC of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia in the yellow. Nova Scotia with some good pressure. Terrific speed there from Callum Thompson as he tried to get down the field and recover that ball to put it into play. It's a little later in the day. 4:30 start for this game, local time. And as we find as the day goes on here, generally the fans will increase as people get off work. Ball is put through for Garrett Peters, but ably defended by Mesut Mert, who kicks it out of play. Peters now to take the throw in for Saskatoon. Peters with a cross. Looking for number 10, Luigi Bequayu. But it is headed away by Nova Scotia. We'll have another Saskatoon corner. Header attempt, but it's cleared by Nova Scotia. Callum Thompson battling for the ball with the Saskatoon defender. And the ball is out of play. It'll be a Saskatoon throw in. Saskatoon trying to reset. Nova Scotia looking for some early pressure. Sumit Malik trying to get through the Nova Scotia defense. Derek Godet now with the ball. Nova Scotia passing it around, trying to open up the field. Mesut Mert over to Callum Thompson. Thompson to Godet. Back to Thompson, who tries for a cross. It's headed away. And it will be a throw-in for Nova Scotia deep in Saskatchewan territory. Callum Thompson to take it. Andrew Series, Oscar Marshall. Others trying to become a target. Series coming forward for the short pass. Chips it back to Thompson, who puts it through. It's headed away by Saskatchewan, but Cameron Zinn comes up with it. Matt Larder puts it across. And we'll have the first Nova Scotia corner of the game. It's headed away by Saskatchewan. Nova Scotia resetting. Mesut Mert with a shot on net himself, and it's high. Michal Bandula passes it back out. Jean-Marie Perreault. Jordan Halleck and Callum Thompson battling it out. Nova Scotia throw in now, looking for Keva Warnell. Bandula gathers it up and rolls it out to the defenders. Perreault to Peters. Peters calls the ball and tries to move it up. He's intercepted by Nova Scotia. Oscar Marshall through to Derek Godet. Back to Marshall. Cleared away by the Saskatoon defense. Mitchell Bausch looking for options. Bobby Nicolat to Tanner Stevens. Stevens plays it back to defense. Jordian Farahani now. David Brown with a shot on net, and Jensen Brown brings it down. Oscar Marshall to Godet. Trying to set things up over to Callum Thompson. Thompson double teamed. Nova Scotia. Saskatoon comes up with the ball. Jordian Farahani again. David Brown chips it ahead. Sumit Malik now. Back to Jordian Farahani. Nova Scotia trying to clear it, but weak chip on the ball, and it's played back to their goalie, who sends it ahead. Intercepted again by Saskatchewan. Perreault to Peters. Back to Perreault. Peters to Malik. Malik looking for a target, but too far. Nova Scotia retaining possession. We've got a foul called on the play, and it'll be a free kick for Nova Scotia. Cameron's in. It's chipped out by Peters. Jin throws it back in. Over to Matt Larter. Zin. Godet. Godet looking for Sumit Malik. Referee having a chat with one of the Saskatchewan players. No cards yet, but he's clearly laying down a marker that he's not prepared to take any nonsense. We've got a free kick for Nova Scotia. Derek Godet sends it in. Callum Thompson again battling. Garrett Peters comes down to take the throw in. Mitchell Bosch with the ball. Bosch, Saskatchewan's 2018 Senior Male Player of the Year. Garrett Peters trying to keep it in. Looking for the pass there, but too late. Nova Scotia now on the attack. We've got a card coming for holding. And we'll just wait for him to turn around so I can confirm the number of the player that just got booked. And that was number 8, Matt Larter. Jordian Farahani with the kick. Easily handled by Jensen Brown of Nova Scotia. Brown sends it back out to Mesut Mert. Mert to Marshall. Over to Series. Cameron's in trying to clear it out, but not quite enough on that. Mert now trying to settle things back down. Mert to Series. Back to Marshall. Marshall swings it back to the defense as Nova Scotia resets. Trying to find Callum Thompson, but the ball is picked off by Nova Scotia, by Saskatchewan. Nova Scotia with possession again. Thompson and Keva Warnell trying to get in. And it's kicked wide by the Saskatchewan defender. It'll be another corner kick for Nova Scotia. And that'll be taken by Oscar Marshall. Looks like they're going to, no, it'll be taken by number 10, Derek Godet. 26 minutes into the game. Couple of chances from either side, but no goals yet. This one is cleared wide by the Saskatchewan defense. Brown sent it across, but the follow-up pass was intercepted. Nova Scotia player down in a heap, and it'll be a free kick for Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia represented in this tournament by United DFC of Dartmouth. United DFC also represented on the women's side of the tournament. The throw in to be taken by Callum Thompson. Thompson looking for Sumit Malik. Sumit Malik, Andrew Series. Malik back to Thompson. Malik with the ball again. And it's going to roll off of a Saskatchewan player for another corner attempt by Nova Scotia. Perreault to Brown. No. Pass not quite there. Intercepted by Oscar Marshall. Marshall sending it back in for Nova Scotia. Cameron's in now. Battling with Perreault. Perreault comes up with the ball. Saskatchewan trying to clear it, but good pressure from Nova Scotia, and they don't quite get it out. Nova Scotia with a throw-in. Marshall. Brown intercepts. Tucks it over to Bosch. Bosch going from distance on his own, but it's scooped up by Jensen Brown of United FC. Sumit Malik now. Playing it back to the defense. Mesut Mert. Mert, originally from Sofia, Bulgaria, but living in this country for quite some time. Also played for the men's national team back in 2004, 5, and 7. So certainly adding to the depth of experience that we have on this United DFC squad. Cameron's in. Marshall battling for the ball. Godet comes up with it. Over to Marshall. Intercepted by the Saskatchewan defense. We're trying to reset. Jordan Farahani now being tracked by Andrew Series. Farahani bringing the ball out. Swings it wide. Nathan Rees. Back to Jordan Halleck. Mitchell Bosch being pressured. Bosch tucks it through to Reese. Perot now over to Farahani. Farahani going to carry it up the side. Brown tucks it through. Now we've got a Nova Scotia player down. A great attempt there on net by Saskatchewan. We've got a yellow card on the play. And the player being booked there, number 8, Reese. Nathan Reese at 30 minutes with a yellow. And it looks to be Cameron Zinn that's down. Physios are coming out to take a look at him. "31 minutes gone in the game so far. A couple of good opportunities on both sides, but still no one has found the back of the net. You're watching live coverage of the Challenge Trophy Toyota National Championships from St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm Colleen McConnell, joined on camera this week by Gillian Landrigan, Sports Canada TV. Been a beautiful day today. Earlier today, Ontario and the Northern Territories, represented by Galaxy United of Yellowknife. That was game 1. Ontario won that 4-0. Today, you're watching Saskatoon Revolution in white and United DFC of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia in the yellow. Both teams locked at 0 at 31 minutes, 32 minutes in. Nova Scotia's Jensen Brown now getting ready to take a goal kick. To restart this, Cameron's in, back up on his feet. So Mesut Mert to Godet. Series and Thompson trying to pressure the Saskatchewan defense. Jordy and Farahani to Brown. Series. Jordy and Farahani. Nathan Reese now. Ball back to Farahani. Jensen Brown rolls it out to his defense. They start to move it forward. Intercepted by Saskatchewan. And being defended by number 4, Farahani. Or number 4, Zach Bald. Cameron's in. Little misread on that one, and Michael Pandula has to come out to clear it away. Nova Scotia with a throw in. Matt Larter over to Sumit Malik. Zach Bald trying to put it through, and it hits a Saskatchewan player who is down at center field. Bobby Nicolot gets up to his feet. Physio giving him a quick check. Looks like they'll go through the concussion protocol. The head referee having a chat there at center with David Brown. Okay. All right, we're going to have a drop ball to reset play. So Farahani sending the ball all the way back to Jensen Brown. Brown rolls it out to Mesut Mert. Mert looking for Marshall. Ball rolls out off of a Saskatchewan player, and Cameron Zinn is there to send it back, and a throw in. Matt Larter now. Sumit Malik. Zinn looking for series, but intercepted. David Brown. Jordan Halleck with the ball now. Trying to find Reese. Mitchell Bosch comes up with the ball and puts it through. Kicked away by Jensen Brown. And Saskatchewan continuing to pressure the Nova Scotia defense. Ball is kicked. Hits a Saskatchewan defender. A Nova Scotia defender. Nova Scotia now pushing the advantage. Over to Marshall again. Marshall to Malik. Moving it over to Godet. Derek Godet double teamed. Garrett Peters is off. Now back to Nova Scotia. Matt Larter tries to send it true, but it's way too far ahead for anyone to catch. Saskatoon defense now taking a reset. Trying to set up their next attack. Middle to David Brown. Brown tucks it through. Looking for Nathan Reese. Looks like we have an offside call. And Nova Scotia will take possession again. Cameron's in for Oscar Marshall. Marshall in a foot race to get there and collides with the Saskatchewan player. It's going to be a free kick for Saskatchewan. Someone got a hand or elbow in the mouth. Looks like Malik. Referee checking in with him. I suspect he'll be breaking out a card there in a minute. Or maybe not. Telling the Saskatchewan player to hold on. Malik shakes it off. And Jordan Halleck gets ready. Harahani Over to Perot. Perot to Halleck. Looking for the wing. (18-10). And it's ruled offside by the linesman. Beautiful goal, but will not count. Garrett Peters. Over to Luigi Biquayu. And they will have to try again. At 41 minutes. Saskatchewan find the back of the net, but it will not stand due to an offside call. 41 minutes into this game. You're watching the Saskatchewan-Saskatoon Revolution in white versus Nova Scotia's UFC Dartmouth in the green. Saskatchewan third place medalists, bronze medalists from last year's contest. 12 of the players on the team were part of that effort. A number of the other players also have Challenge Cup experience from the HUSA alumni who so often represented Saskatchewan at these tournaments. Ball's played back to Bandula. Bandula trying to reset, but getting pressured by Nova Scotia. Both teams looking to come out of this half with at least one goal. Nova Scotia to Series. Series putting it through. We've got a Nova Scotia corner coming up. Their fourth of the game. And that's pulled down by Michael Bandula, the Saskatchewan goalie. Saskatchewan defense now resetting. Callum Thompson is after switching sides of the field. Nathan Reese being defended by Cameron Zinn. Mesut Mert. Halifax now. Dartmouth with the Callum Thompson with the ball. Thompson getting ready. Throws into Godet, who plays it back to Zinn. Back to Godet. Godet looking for options. Back to Zinn. Zinn tries to make it across field, but it's intercepted. Mitchell Bosch sends it over to Farahani. Farahani to Beckwo, looking for Peters. Nova Scotia now setting up for another attack. Matt Larter. Played back to Bald. Bald battling with Peters. Two minutes added to the first half of this game. We're now at 45 minutes. Still a scoreless draw between the Saskatchewan Revolution of Saskatoon and United DFC of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Reese to Bobby Nicolat. It'll be a white throw in. Nicolat to take. Jordan Halleck to take. He plays it back to Perreault. Perreault, crossfield to Farahani. Farahani trapped by the Nova Scotia defense. Nova Scotia with a throw in. Now Saskatchewan's turn. Bequayu with the throw in. Back to Farahani. Farahani fouled as he's trying to get through the Nova Scotia defense. And it'll be a free kick for Saskatoon. Looks like Farahani will take that. White targets heading up into the penalty area and into the 18. And Garrett Peters gets ahead on it, but it's chipped over the top. The whistle blows to end the first half. United DFC Dartmouth 0, Saskatoon Revolution 0. 45 minutes gone. This is Colleen McConnell along with Jillian Landrigan on camera. You are watching live coverage of the Challenge Trophy Toyota National Championships live on Sports Canada TV. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with you for the second half of this game in about 15 minutes. Don't go too far. Good afternoon and welcome back to second half action in our men's feature game today, one of two games at King George V Field. I'm Colleen McConnell along with Gillian Landrigan on camera. We'll be bringing you the second half of the game. Saskatoon Revolution in white, United FC of Dartmouth in yellow. The two teams deadlocked after the first half, 0-0. So just waiting for the official time to restart. Okay, Nova Scotia seem to be waiting for one of their players to come back from the half. And everything is set back up. Second half action is underway. United FC of Dartmouth in the yellow. And Saskatoon Revolution in the white. Saskatoon qualifying from a field of 4 teams in their final weekend. United FC of Dartmouth had a field of 7 teams en route to qualifying for this tournament. Saskatoon incidentally defeated Newfoundland's Holy Cross last year for the bronze medal when the tournament was hosted in Saskatchewan. 12 members of that team are playing today for the Saskatoon Revolution. They also have a number of other players with Challenge Cup experience from the HUSA alumni who were many times representative for Saskatchewan. Callum Thompson to Godet. We've seen some good pressure on both sides. Saskatoon had what they thought was a goal, looked really good, but it was ruled offside, so did not count. That was late in the game, around the 41st minute of the first half. Cameron Zinn sends the ball in to Derek Godet, back to Zinn. Nova Scotia trying to figure out how they are going to penetrate this Saskatchewan defense. Jordan Farahani. Shadrach Samuel joining the game for Saskatoon in the second half. Playing up front along with Garrett Peters. Peters actually on defense, but not afraid to move up front on key plays. Matt Larter. Malik to Marshall. Marshall trying a shot, but it's blocked by Farahani. Farahani to Samuel. Brown to Samuel. Samuel triple being closely guarded, now trying to recover the ball from Halifax. Number 4 is Zach Bald. son of head coach John Bald, and brother to assistant manager Adam Bald. So soccer family there for sure. Godet back to Mert. Over to Matt Larter. Godet. Larter fouled on the play. So Nova Scotia will have a free kick. Larter to Bald. Over to Marshall. Marshall back to Malik. Malik looking for Callum Thompson and his speed. Godet to Thompson. Zinn with him. He's down, and we've got a penalty on the call, or a foul on the call. So we'll have a free kick coming for Nova Scotia. And it looks like that'll be taken by Derek Godet. All but one Saskatchewan player up in that area on defense. Kick is successfully defended, and now Derek Godet trying again. We'll have a Nova Scotia throw-in. Godet to Larter. Back to Godet. Godet looking for Zinn, but he's dispossessed by Mitchell Bosch. Samuel flicks it on for Peters. Garrett Peters sends it across for David Brown. Brown is wide of the net. Mitchell Bosch, Saskatchewan's Senior Male Player of the Year in 2018. Garrett Peters. Mitchell Bosch. Garrett Peters will take the throw in. Bosch trying to find Bobby Nicolat, but intercepted. Callum Thompson trying to catch up with that ball, but he fouls the Saskatchewan defender. And Saskatchewan with a free kick to reset. Perreault. Perreault to Bald. Farahani. Farahani was being pressured by Godet on that play. Garrett Peters now coming up to take that throw in. Bosch. Bosch out to Halleck. Halleck back to Perreault. Wide of his target. They play it back to Mihail Bandala. Godet pressuring the Saskatchewan goalie. Malik dispossessed. And the ball is put through for Shredick Samuel. Garrett Peters. Mesut Mert fouled on the play, and the free kick is put quickly into play. Good block. But Nova Scotia makes certain of the rebound. And it looks like that goal. Waiting for him to turn around so I can get the number. Looks like the goal came from Andrew Series. Andrew Series puts Nova Scotia on the scoreboard at 54 minutes. The first goal of the game. Tight contest between these two teams. Garrett Peters to Godet. Farahani. Shots headed away by Nova Scotia, who take possession. Nova Scotia playing it back to their own goalie now. Sends it back out to Mesut Mert. Mert to Bald. To Godet. Godet out to Malik. Malik with Keva Warnell as an option. Back to Marshall to Godet. Godet to Marshall. Marshall recovers it. Bald. And Matt Larter plays it all the way back to their goalie to reset Mesut Mert. Looking for options. Jensen Brown out to Mert. To Larter. Back to Mert. Back to Larter. Larter finds Series. Series puts it through, but too far for the Nova Scotia attackers. Perot to Farahani. To Stevens. Bobby Nicolet. Back to Stevens. Swinging it back around the defense. Farahani puts it through. Looking for Garrett Peters. Peters to Samuel. And Samuel collides with a Nova Scotia player, but it's harmless. Saskatoon throw in. Bosch with the ball. To Perot. Back to Farahani. Farahani sends it through, looking for Garrett Peters. Sumit Malik now. Sends it across to Callum Thompson. Thompson to Godet. Godet to Marshall. Peters plays it back to Mihail Bandula. Sumit Malik trying to sneak a quick recovery. Farahani sends the ball back in, looking wide to Garrett Peters. Peters being guarded by Keva Warnell. Shot. Centering pass, but it's pulled down by Jensen Brown. Callum Thompson now. Ball goes off a Saskatoon player, and it'll be a Nova Scotia throw in. Cameron Zinn to take that. Now it's Saskatchewan's turn. Farahani sends it down to Brown. David Brown crosses to Garrett Peters. Peters to Bosch. Bosch back to Peters. Peters looking for options. Ball is still in play. And Nova Scotia clears it out and makes their break up the field. Mesut Mert back to Brown. Bald to Godet. Godet plays it back to Keva Warnell. To Bald. Ball goes off Godet. And Garrett Peters will take the throw in. Farahani. Got a substitution coming in for Saskatoon. Matthew Gillot has come into the game for Nathan Reese. Reese with a yellow card earlier in the contest. Looks like Nova Scotia's also got a couple of people warming up. 61 minutes gone in the game. Nova Scotia leading 1-0 on a goal by Andrew Series at the 54th minute. Halleck sends the ball out to Stevens. Back to Bosch. To Brown. To Stevens. Bosch. Bosch back to Brown. Brown puts it through. But Jensen Brown, the Nova Scotia goalie, has read it well, and there are no white shirts able to catch up to it before him. Nova Scotia now moving the ball down the wing. Mert waves off Malik. Matt Larter back to Mert. Godet with the ball. Bobby Nicolat Over to David Brown. Nova Scotia picks it up. Sends it forward for Derek Godet. Godet trying to keep control and regain control. Bobby Nicolat over to Farahani. To Perrault. Back to Perrault. Perrault being pressured by Godet. And Godet will have a foul assessed. We'll have a free kick coming up for Saskatoon. Number 17 is about to come into the game for Nova Scotia. Dallas Stern. Number 17 for Nova Scotia, John Wanamaker, coming in for Andrew Series, who scored the goal earlier in the match. So John Wanamaker, number 17. Farahani now dribbling up. Looking to connect with Samuel. Shadrach Samuel. Ball to the top for Garrett Peters. And Jordan Halleck with an attempt, but it's wide. Jensen Brown sets up a goal kick. Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan fighting to decide who's going to keep possession. Got another player coming in for Nova Scotia. And that'll be Adam Miller coming in for Oscar Marshall. So Adam Miller wearing number 12 and taking up his spot in defense along with John Wanamaker. And Miller, of course, has come in at the forward position, not defense. Jensen Brown reading that ball well and getting to it ahead of Luigi Bequayu. Godet sends it through to Samuel. Farahani now. Trying to set up Samuel again. Shadrach Samuel. Farahani, the misread, being held there by Nova Scotia or holding off Nova Scotia. Hard to tell some days. Bosch tipped off a Halifax player. Matt Larter trying to regain control. Bosch, Larter comes up with the ball. sends it through for Adam Miller. And it is ruled offside. Miller finds the goal, but it is not going to count. 68 minutes into the game, Nova Scotia, represented by United DFC of Dartmouth, with a 1-0 lead over defending bronze medalist Saskatchewan. Cameron's in with a tumble on that play. Referee going down to check on him. And Jensen Brown, the Nova Scotia goalie, has come out to take the free kick. Another bit of a tussle as Perreault and Miller were fighting to come up with that ball. And it'll be a Nova Scotia free kick, Godet to take it. Nova Scotia now resetting. Wanamaker over to Malik. Malik taking a shot, but it's high and wide. Bandula, the Saskatchewan goalie, rolls it out to Perreault. Perreault back to Bandula. Godet staying up and being a pest. Godet, of course, one of the Nova Scotia players with national team experience, having played with the under-23 team back in 2010-2011 timeframe. Farahani tries to send it through, but it's blocked by Malik. And subsequently off another green player. So White will have the throw. Bosch now with the ball. Shredek Samuel measures his length, but there's no call on the play. Nova Scotia now trying to switch their momentum. Keva Warnell to Matt Larter. The ball is deflected away easily to the Saskatchewan goalie. Mitchell Bosch. Over to Luigi Belwayo. Farahani keeping the ball into the Nova Scotia half. Bosch tries to chip it back to number 11, Bobby Nicolat. Nova Scotia comes up with it, but Saskatoon recovers. Farahani now down the wing. Over to Peters. Peters with a shot. And Jensen Brown makes no doubt about securing that ball. Brown rolls it out to Mesut Mert. Mert to Brown. Brown looking for wide options, but not a lot of green shirts there. We had a nice pass there. The referee has ruled that a penalty and a penalty kick will be taken by Saskatoon. Penalty assessed against Jensen Brown of Nova Scotia. The penalty is going to be taken by Bosch, who blocks it. Jensen Brown blocks the penalty. Few players down on the rebound. The referee is checking to see who needs attention. But Jensen Brown read Bosch's intent quite clearly. Trainer is being called out to help one of the Nova Scotia players. You can see Nova Scotia's got people warming up again on the side, just in case they need to swap someone out. And the player that's looking for attention there is Matt Larter. Cameron Zinn had also been down close to the net, but he's up and moving around again. Matt Larter going to be attended to by the team's physio. "75 minutes into this Challenge Trophy game. Group B is the group that we're looking at here. The Saskatchewan Revolution, last year's bronze medalists, versus United FC of Dartmouth. United FC of Dartmouth in the green. They are leading 1-0. Saskatoon in the white. And it looks like we are going to have another penalty kick for Saskatchewan. Luigi Becquayo pulled down just inside the 18. Just outside the 18 is what the goalie ruled, and it will be a Saskatchewan free kick. Looks like Bosch will take that again. Farahani insisting that Halifax Dartmouth be walked back to the full distance that they are required. Jensen Brown positioning his defensive wall. Matthew Gillot. Farahani in to take it. Brown comes out, pulls it out of the air, and prepares to reset. Farahani dispossesses number 5. Jensen Brown pulls the ball out of the air and secures it. One of the Saskatchewan players not very happy, claims he was clipped, but he's not getting any traction on that with the referee. Brown sends it back out. It's chipped ahead by Sumit Malik. Perot up on the side trying to move the ball along. It'll be a Saskatchewan throw-in, and that'll be taken by Luigi Bekwayu. Samuel trying to come up with the ball, and Bosch. Samuel and Bosch tussling with Callum Thompson. And we'll have a Nova Scotia free kick. Main official is being called over by the fourth official. Not quite sure what they're chatting about. And some discussion from the Nova Scotia coaching staff. Not quite sure what happened there. He was carded. Official seems to be writing something down. Ten minutes remaining in regulation time. Nova Scotia with a 1-0 lead over the Saskatchewan Revolution. Saskatoon Revolution of Saskatchewan. It's Miller to Wanamaker. And Keva Warnell. Jean-Marie Perreault is down for Saskatoon. Free kick to Saskatoon. Bosch being pressured. Farahani to Miller. So we have a Nova Scotia free kick coming up. Goalie Jensen Brown is going to come out to take that. Mitchell Bosch being tracked down by Callum Thompson. Mitchell Bosch now. Bosch to Perreault. Matthew Gillot. Garrett Peters now with the throw in. Moved along the back line. Perreault putting it through. Looking for Peters and Samuel. Farahani. Perreault. Back to Stevens. Peters to Bosch. Bosch trying on his own, and he's wide. Jensen Brown sets up to take the goal kick. We are 83 minutes into this match. So Samuel and Wanamaker having a few words, a little tussle there, being warned by the referee. Godet tucked out of play by Perreault. Callum Thompson puts it in. And Adam Miller at the top of the box. It's good. No flag on the play. Thompson to Miller at the 84th minute. Nova Scotia pulls ahead 2-0. You're watching live coverage of the Challenge Trophy Toyota National Championships on Sports Canada TV. We're coming to you live tonight from beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador and King George V pitch, where we've had absolutely terrific conditions for the players and fans. Saskatoon trying desperately to get a goal, get themselves back in this game and get some hope. It's been give and take all day from these two teams, but only Nova Scotia have found the back of the net and been able to make it count. Saskatoon had an early goal, which was called back for offsides. And a penalty kick, which was saved by Nova Scotia's Jensen Brown. Saskatoon now. That ball is high. Shot from Jordan Halleck. Jensen Brown now getting ready with a goal kick. Belwayo trying to put it through. Cameron Zinn collides with Garrett Peters. And it's going to be a free kick to Saskatoon. Ball's on target, header attempt by Bosch, Mitchell Bosch, but handled easily by Jensen Brown. Farahani. You can hear them talking to each other. There's only 3 minutes left in regulation. Remains to be seen how much time will be added to that by the referees. Mesut Mert to take the free kick for Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia would love a third to lock this down and firmly close the door on any rally by Saskatchewan. Yellow card given out to Nova Scotia there. We'll wait for him to spin around. That's John Wanamaker, the substitute. Mitchell Bosch puts the ball into play, looking for Peters or Samuel. Bosch again. Heads it over. Nova Scotia trying to clear it. Halleck trying to keep it in. He's fouled by Wanamaker. Free kick is taken quickly. Mitchell Bosch on target, but the ball is well read by Jensen Brown and pulled down before the other Saskatchewan attackers could get there. Jensen Brown sends the ball back into play. Bosch. Nova Scotia, Miller. Farahani fouled, and there'll be a free kick. 4 minutes to be added to regulation time. Referee warning a few people. Four minutes to come. Farahani sending it in low. Saskatchewan with the advantage. Derek Godet pulled down by Farahani. He's got a yellow, and he's lucky it's that color. So Farahani with a yellow in injury time. Not too many more minutes to go here. Teams are getting a little bit lippy. Referee telling everyone to settle down. Few of the players taking a little break there while they can. Nova Scotia player getting some attention there near the middle. Looks like Derek Godet. And it is. Number 7 is going to come in for Godet. And that would be Oscar Marshall, who we saw earlier in the game. Ref having a few words with some of the other players, some of the Saskatchewan players. Nova Scotia not in any hurry to resume. They've got a 2-0 lead, and they're happy to keep it. We'll have a Nova Scotia free kick coming up as the clock ticks down on those 4 remaining minutes of injury time. The head referee back consulting with the 4th official. Now red card to the Nova Scotia coach. John Bald leaves the field. His team is up 2-0. No idea what words were exchanged there. Marshall trying for a final goal. Saskatoon knows that seconds are ticking down on this game. Mitchell Bosch coming up to take the throw in. Back to Jordan Farahani. To Bosch. Samuel dispossessed. And another yellow card. This one for Shedrack Samuel. The two teams are starting to get a bit chippy. Samuel being pulled away from the fray by his colleagues. And it looks like we've got another card coming.
You call the first one, the second one won't happen. Come on.
Referees moving people away. And that is the whistle for the game. Nova Scotia's United DFC of Dartmouth with a 2-0 victory over Saskatoon Revolution of Saskatchewan. Saskatoon, the bronze medalist last year. The Nova Scotia entry also has their sister team here in the women's division. So a win tonight for United FC of Dartmouth. You've been watching live coverage of the Toyota National Championships, the Challenge Trophy division. I'm Colleen McConnell along with Gillian Landry on camera. You've been joining us on Sports Canada TV. Thank you for watching tonight. Go get a good night's sleep, rest up. We'll do the same, and we'll be back here at King George V again tomorrow to bring you some more great games.